Welcome to a spooky edition of the Fantasy Report, Halloween themed, 'tis the season. I'm Liam Yates, and my partner,
Brian Barry.
We're gonna start this episode off similar to last week. We're going into a 2-minute drill with Poogs. He's gonna run us through what happened this past week in fantasy.
All right, Michael, thank you very much. Truly the halfway point of this 2004 season, and we remember the name.
The noodles couldn't be turned into pasta, and the spaghetti got lost in the sauce, leaving the weekend with a giant L in one shoe. Marvin Dow Jones' stock price rose with each touchdown, and the investment was worth every penny for the Ocho Grandes. What? Lights, camera, action put up more points than Lisa Ann's body count, and Two Girlies One Cup's performance was faker than her tits. Jordy Nelson picked up right where Cooper left off, and Jameis played his way out of a job, while Jared, Jack, and Goff blew all 190 points of his load into the cup. Yikes. What? O.J. Howard was the MVP, and Tyler Eifert's ankles, bench, had a field day. Everyone was trusting the process. Antonio Commissioner Beal Brown was busting into the dance and told Cleveland to put some respect on his name. What? The Wiener got cancer, and it was certainly fatal, and only had 109 points to give. The Brocketship was not cleared for takeoff, while Adrian Peterson beat the crap out of someone other than his son for a change. Yikes. Sorry, little nigga. Cash got on his knees and searched for an answer, but came away with a dick in his mouth. God watched him get flushed down the drain in the toilet bowl. Devontae Adams' family point total was certainly spooky and kept Eber's ass from looking goofy. And lastly, the Jews, inspired by the cash prize, continued their surge and sent Bill to the gas chamber. One Red Rocket tried to help another, but it wasn't enough to keep Team Brown from looking like the real Browns. Will Fuller, the fifth sense, consensus season-ending injury, and emptied his tank right before God took his ACL. What?
A few moments later.
And we're back. We're gonna continue this episode pretty normal. We're going a little love-hate to start us off, and then we're gonna move into a new segment sticking on theme, trick or treat. Start us off, love-hate. My partner, would you like to start us off?
I would. My first love, quarterback, Cam Newton. They're playing Tampa Bay. Fitzmagic is back. The tricks are coming out of his sleeve.
Tricks.
Touchdowns.
Halloween.
Touchdowns on both ends. Big day. We'll get to that later.
Quarterback I love this week, Jared Goff at New Orleans. In the Dome, that offense is going to be scary. Look forward to a big day from Goff, probably a big day from Breeze too, and both offenses an absolute shootout.
Another player I love, same team, different position, Christian McCaffrey at Tampa. Like I said earlier, a lot of tutties, a lot of mouths to feed, McCaffrey gets fed.
Running back I love this week, James White versus Green Bay. Green Bay played okay. They hung tough with the Rams, but Todd Gurley made his biggest impacts while receiving. I think obviously the best receiving back in football right now, aside from Alvin Kamara, is James White. He's basically a receiver. I think he's gonna have a pretty good day against Green Bay. He's been nothing but consistent all year. The only good player on Cast team.
Last player I love, Brandon Cooks at New Orleans. We've said this, a lot of tutties, old team, a lot of emotions. That equals a tutty, in my book.
Might as well. Wide receiver I love this week, Kenny Golladay at Minnesota. Kenny Golladay, I think, is going to be in line to get a lot of the catches left from Golden Tate leaving. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. But Kenny Galladay's had a slow couple weeks after a strong start, but I think he gets back on track here. No Golden Tate. Solid week from Golladay.
We expect some big things.
Big things.
For sure. Player I hate, Matthew Stafford at Minnesota. Look at that. Yeah, I just don't see it this week. Minnesota has come on quite a bit as of late.
They sure have.
Detroit has been suspect at times.
They have.
And no Golden Tate. A little bit of a transition here. I don't know if they figure out this game. I think. Yeah, I'm feeling 2 picks, 1 tutty, 227 yards.
Well, that's how he's going to Kenny Golladay. Quarterback I hate this week, Matt Ryan at Washington. Washington's defense has been stout all season. And they just added Clinton Dix, one of the league's best safeties, 3rd ranked in Pro Football Focus's safety rankings for this year. And we all saw the video of him getting a pick when they played the Redskins and then dapping up the Redskins sideline. It was meant to be. He's going to cook there. Matt Ryan is not. Don't like Matt Ryan this week.
All hail. Another player I hate, shout out Nick, Isaiah Crowell at Miami.
Go Jets.
Any Jets fan would know this is the most unpredictable game of the season. Jets, Dolphins, it's either 30 to 27 or it's 3-6. Could be anything. I don't like it.
Running back I hate this week is Philip Lindsay versus Houston. Houston's been like hot and cold, nothing great, nothing terrible. Philip Lindsay, who's kind of emerged this season, he's the 15th ranked running back at the moment, and higher in full point PPR. I just don't see much from him this week. I think Houston's gonna probably blow them out, honestly.
Hopefully. Last player I hate, there's no reason not to hate him. Doug Baldwin. Has he shown us anything this year?
He has not.
Doesn't start now. Playing the Chargers. Last
Who have been very good.
time I checked, he's pretty decent. And Doug Baldwin is not.
No, he's not.
Seems like Russell Wilson throwing a random tutty to someone every week.
It's literally anyone. Last week it was like David Moore. It's these complete
it's someone new
every week. I don't know. But my last hate, the receiver I hate this week, John Brown versus Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, after I said some horrible things a couple weeks ago about their defense, has done nothing but prove me wrong.
Yes, sir.
They've come back. They're firing on all cylinders. John Brown's been not bad. He's been okay, but I don't think it's going to happen for him this week. Baltimore's in a weird spot. Just got Ty Montgomery. Is he a running back? Is he a receiver? No one knows. He's in costume as a running back, but he's a receiver because it's Halloween.
Trick or treat.
That's going to wrap it up for Love Hate this week. And now we're going to move into Trick or Treat.
Heyo.
In this segment, we're going to go through a few things that happened this past week in the league and in the actual NFL. And we're going to debate whether or not what happened is a trick or if it's a treat. First one this week is comebacks. We had some resounding declarations made in the group chat this week from both Matt Kaz and Kamish that comeback starts now. And I don't know about that.
I think for Cavs' sake, it's definitely not starting now, and it won't start ever.
I mean, looking at the rankings here, they are both last and second to last in points for so far this season. Billy made a trade, Cavs did nothing, even though I demanded last week that he do something.
Nothing.
Listen to the media. But I think this one's an absolute trick for on both accounts. I think Billy gave up some solid pieces and only got back Mike Evans. We'll see what happens. But
Definitely.
a trick. Second one, this one's going to take a little longer, is we're going to go through the trades this week that were made in the NFL. So Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper, how it's going to affect them. Carson Wentz and Golden Tate, and Deshaun Watson and Demaryius Thomas. I think start Prescott and Cooper.
I think it definitely helps the situation, but not as much as people are anticipating.
Interesting. So you're saying a trick for this one?
I'm feeling trick.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I think this one's a treat for both. Not because I'm biased, because I have Dak Prescott, but because that receiving core is an absolute joke. Their deep threat's Michael Gallup. He stinks. I mean, other than that, who do they have?
According to the last 2 years, Cooper has been an absolute joke.
That's true.
You add a joke to a joke, it's still a joke. You heard it here first.
Two wrongs make a right. It's a treat. Next one we're going to go through, Deshaun Watson and Demaryius Thomas. Especially after losing Will Fuller, I think this one's got to be a treat for owners of both, you included.
I'll step up here. So I'm a little concerned just because Thomas and Hopkins, they're kind of similar players. I don't know if they really complement each other's games.
Interesting point.
I don't know how I feel about that. Watson, he's been a sure thing as of late.
Yeah,
Can he keep it up?
I think he will. I think this one's definitely a treat, no doubt about it. Houston is getting better. Lamar Miller is running better than he has all season. I think this one's a treat.
Give a round of applause to the O-line. Finally kept Watson off his ass.
Yeah,
for once.
He is getting hit more than Eli, which is fucking crazy. But
Yeah.
and then the last one for trades, we're gonna go Carson Wentz and Golden Tate. I think it sucks that I'm going 3 treats across the board here, but that is definitely a treat. Golden Tate, in my opinion, is what that offense is missing, is a guy who's going to catch the ball in the shallow routes and run. Golden Tate's been, since he's come into the league, with Russell Wilson, Matt Stafford, and now Carson Wentz, he's had nothing but, he's been spoiled with quarterbacks who put him in a position to succeed. I think we just see more of the same from him. He's a showtime
I
player.
agree. They got the wide receiver deep threat. They got Zach Ertz, beast. They have
Alshon Jeffrey, Golden Tate,
People
and
forget about
even
Nelson
Nelson
Aguilar.
Aguilar. Yeah, Nelson
Forget.
Aguilar. People forget.
Guy carried the team last year.
And you can't forget, because it's Halloween, and if you forget, you'll get tricked. And this isn't a trick, it's true. And then our last one for Trick or Treat is projections as a whole. We're talking team projections, player projections. Just as a whole, we always put so much stock into them. When they first come out for week 1, everyone's all excited. They don't mean shit, they're absolute garbage. You weren't projected 190 points, Jimmy wasn't projected 180. I for sure wasn't projected 108. They don't mean fucking anything. We should not put any stock into them.
Definitely feels good when you have a high projection. You feel like you're doing something right. But, you know, you look at Cavs, he's projected a decent amount every week as they're putting up 90. Same could be said for Nick at times. But
I mean, you could even look,
same could be said for everyone.
you even look at a guy like Odell Beckham.
Buzz back because I shoot first. How do you say was never said? Beautiful black woman, I've been.
And he gets projected solid points every week, and then sometimes it's nothing, and then sometimes it's 30. Is it the Giants' offense fault, or are projections just a sham?
A little bit of both.
That's gonna wrap it up for Trick or Treat. Now we're gonna move into an exclusive interview with GM, owner, and field anchor on the show, Frank Puglia, to talk about the Ocho Grandes and a couple things about the league so far this year and his recent trade.
Few inches later.
And we're back. Interview here with Frank Puglia, owner, GM of the Ocho Grandes, just for a couple questions about what I just said. First one, we're gonna talk about Kurt's original power rankings. He put you at 8th.
You sure did.
And, coming out of the draft, there was a lot of question marks, and I think everybody had a feeling that this might have been the year that the Ocho Grandes take a step back. I want to talk about, first, the inspiration for the change of name, and second, how that's motivated you throughout the season.
Well, first off, Lions don't concern themselves with opinions of sheep. It wasn't too long ago that I beat that ass in the chip. I got a ring, Kirk doesn't. Just gotta call it like you see it. If you expect me to be bad at fantasy, you're a moron, because I'm good every year. I win money every year. You want to put me at 8? Put me at 8. We'll see what happens. Ocho, Spanish minor. So,
Yep,
you know,
sure are.
that means 8 for all you French guys out there. I think Cavs took French in high school.
Really, Cavs?
What are you doing, guy?
It's always a tough week for Cavs on the fantasy report. You gotta make a change, man.
Figure it out, guy. Hit my line. I'll help you. Pray, do something. I don't know. Yeah, and then Grande, just because my team's usually a big dog, just when you think my back's against the wall, I come out and I pick up someone or someone on my team just starts kicking up. Yeah, that was my inspiration pretty much.
Alright. Our next question here, we want to talk about the trade you just made.
Yeah, big trade. Shout out Billy Brown. Had a fun weekend. Got some drinks, and we came out with a pretty solid deal. Didn't want to give away Mike Evans. You know, he's a big dog.
He sure is.
He can roof with the best of them, but
Physically, just a huge
just
guy.
a big dog. People forget that big block he had at Texas A&M. It was a viral clip.
Was Manziel good, or was Mike Evans just really good?
I think that's a story for another day. But, you know, Andy Dalton, I think Red Rockets got to ride with Red Rockets. I think Billy really needed him. I didn't like having a receiver in division with the Saints, so it was always tough watching him go off week 1. And then Mark Ingram. I mean, roll fucking Tide, who dat?
Roll Tide.
That baby Audie. Audie knows what I'm talking about. He's been around the block a few times. Yeah, I just think at a certain point you have to look at my running backs and think, what are you doing? Do you even care? And I think this trade shows that I care a lot, and I think it shows that I'm here to stay. Yikes, that's not good.
And then final question for you. Just want to talk about your matchup this past week with Ed. A person that you've had a solid record against throughout the years, and how close it was in the end came down to that last drive. They threw it to Stephon Diggs one more time. we might be having a totally different interview.
Could be having a different interview, but there's few certainties in this life. It's death, taxes, and Eddie losing to me in fantasy football. I don't think he's ever beaten me, and you know what? Take that L, Eddie. Hold that tiger. Fucking hold that L, because you know every time we play each other, I'm coming for that ass. Could be the playoffs, could be regular season, but 10 times out of 10, I'm taking that W. And you know, based on things that have happened in the past with Stephon Diggs breaking my heart, I might have been a little worried, but if it said any other name at the top of my matchup, but since it says spaghetti sauce, that's just easy money every time. I'm taking that win, and I'm sending him home with an L and one shoe.
And one shoe. And Ed, before we conclude this interview, I'd just like to say, you asked for some love on the fantasy report, and I gave it to you last week, and you did nothing but let me down. I'm disappointed in you. Maybe the sauce isn't very hot. It might be cold. But that's going to conclude this interview. Frank, thanks for coming aboard. Pleasure as always. We'll see you again.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
Been giving you the business. The league's been giving you the business. Turn it around. It's on you at this point. I'm picking you up, feel bad, I want to throw you a bone. If you don't get Fitzmagic, you're just a retard. Pick that boy up. Plug in that hole. Get going, be competitive. Because if you don't win this week, like Ant-Pick and G-Ton are on the line. Like they're ready to go. Like you're quickly out the door of this league if things don't turn around soon. That is why I like Cavs. I think he feels that pressure. I think he knows what's at stake. He's been around the block, kinda. Nothing really to shout about on those trips, but I think this is the time he goes around the block and he actually does something with it. So God's watching, takes the dub. Spaghetti's still lost in the sauce, still looking for that shoe. Book it. Next, we got Star of David versus Get Cancer, the battle of the oppressed. I don't know. I think Kurt's been riding a nice little wave here, nice little streak of wins, but I think this is the week that he cools off. Jimmy's kind of on the opposite direction. He's getting hot while he's cooling down. AP, James Conner, I've just been roofing. Cam Newton has been roofing, just shredded the Baltimore D this past week. Don't think he's gonna have any problem doing the same thing against the Bucks. Sam Darnold against Miami, interesting. Probably gonna be, I don't know. Jets are so questionable. It's an absolute crapshoot. Joe Flacco, think he lays an egg against the Steelers. I don't know, Kurt. I just your team's not exciting me this week, whereas Jimmy's is just like gonna give you some cancer, just straight up. It's a new kind of problem for you, your kind of people, but you've dealt with some shit before, so take that up.
Got him! Got him!
And lastly, we got Team Brown versus Moneyball Squad. When a guy like Bill, who commissions our league, coming off a ring, says he's gonna turn things around, you gotta listen to him. You gotta believe what he's saying. You've seen what he's done in the past, and it's been some pretty special things. Got Zeke back this week. I gave him Mike Evans, John Brown, just a lot of big dogs in that lineup. And then Moneyball Squad just kind of squeaked out of the toilet bowl with a win. Hasn't really done anything to excite me. Drew Brees only put up 6. A little shaky. I think he'll have a big week this week, but not big enough to overcome Zeke, Brown, Evans, and then Kyle Rudolph going against no tight end for Hubert. I mean, come on. So Team Brown takes it, and also notice how Team Brown switched his name from just Papa Zan. So I think he means business. When Cav says he's turning it around, everyone just laughs because we know that's not true. Whereas Billy, he's taking this thing seriously. He knows when shit hits the fan, it's time to step up and be a big dog. And I think Billy figures it out this week. Beats Huber, who is trying to figure it out but hasn't put all the pieces in place yet. I think Billy takes it, and I know I'm going 4-2 this week. Whoever wants the 2 losses, they're irrelevant. I'm gonna go 4-2. 4-2 for 4 weeks. I'm 16-8, hotter than the sun. Fucking book it. Ride with me, ride or die. I know what's going on. Come on, nigga.
And that's going to conclude this Halloween edition of the Fantasy Report. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I'm Liam Yates, my partner.
Brian Barry.
God is watching.
Always an effort.
I know I